Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's here for me, Mamunyina Kwaba. Happy Sunday as well. I hope all of you can hear me. And we are going to chat a little bit about politics. My brother and I are going to have a conversation. We have our ex-presidents, His Excellency John Mahama, as a running mate to the MPP for 2024. 2024 is election year, Ewo Ghana. And as we know, MPP is in power. One of the plans or one of the things John Dramani Mahama to fix the economy has been derailed. It has been damaged. It is gone. The economy in Ghana is gone, totally gone. So if you're here for the first time, this is Fahudi Hotspot Show. You're speaking with your host, Lady May. I'll be talking to our brother, Kwejo Odro, ene ewo Montreal. Oni yemba betwitwe nkomo afa John Dramani Mahama 24 hours plan no. Eno ho ne yeba bedi nkomo, but first I want you also let's do this. Share the video as we get ourselves prepared to start the show. Niedi kan me pese mutie some audios bi na yemfa enkomo no in this way. Niama bebre happen in Ghana. A lot of things has happened in Ghana, and I think Ghanaians have sat around this thing for too long. Ghana for. So let's listen to this one here. And then
to it. And you know, today I'll talk about something the vice president did, okay, which shocks me. Like it's been shocking for a while now, and I've never had the opportunity to talk about it. I'll talk about it today.
To all Ghanaians, I think everybody should pay attention to the radio, your radio station, your media system in Ghana. I think everybody should pay attention to the media in Ghana from now on. I don't know, when you consider yourself as a Ghanaian, I don't know what that means to Ghanaians. Those in the public sector, those that plays a role in a public sector, I am not sure. If you ask me today, before I bring my brother on, let's listen to this audio. Or you know what? Let me bring your brother Odru on so we can all listen to it at the same time.
Rice. Someone brings his rice to the port. KMJ, listen.
Hello.
Brings his rice to the port.
Yeah, I can hear you all right.
Okay.
To go and find money.
I can't hear you. You're very low.
You know what is called demurrage? When your goods stays for over a time, the government seizes the product, and then the government auctions it. They give you the first option for buy. If you can buy it, they give you the first option. If you can't buy it, the government sells it, and then now they can take the money, take out their revenue. 2 days before the time for the demurrage to catch, this gentleman goes to look for money. He comes to the port to come and collect his goods. The goods have already been auctioned.
So everybody who is listening, if you're here for the first time, let your comments come in. I'm also going to leave the link here. If you want to join the conversation, by all means, you are welcome. But today we're going to talk about the 24 hours economy that John Dramani Mahama is presenting to Ghanaians, as well as listen to some things that is going on in Ghana and ask yourself, what is your position as a Ghanaian? What is your position as a Ghanaian in Ghana? When you work in a public sector, what is your responsibility as a Ghanaian? Any matters or issues about Ghana, should it concern you or not? Let's listen.
Auction to who? Auction to a gentleman, the administrator and the vice president.
So we are listening to a radio station. This one is Joy FM. Joy FM had this gentleman speaking about this is the expectations of 2024 budget presentation, and he brought up an issue, an event that took place. A gentleman shipped containers of rice to Ghana, and then so the guy had to go and look for money, because nowadays it's a surprise. Ghana for no abane siso no, they name your price. So almost share the no more pa, no more the price be ato so. Into this gentleman rice, like a whole containers of rice, you know, almost the almost so because the price, you know, akwe kwashishe skaba 2 days before the time, marawa Ghana, the law of Ghana gives you time for you to clear your goods from the port. 2 days before the time the guy comes back, the rice is already auctioned. Who is it auctioned to? Someone in Bawumia's office. Bawumia's vice president office wrote a letter and bought the rice because Ramadan is coming to an end. Bawumia want to use a citizen's money to go and win election. Bawumia's office wrote a letter. So this man is bringing it up. But I want you to pay attention to how the conversation is going. There were 3 gentlemen on stage right now speaking. Into me, say, Ghana ni jini hundi. Do you think Ghanaians, those on the social media, those on media outlets, do they believe themselves to be Ghanaians? Do they think they are Ghanaians? Or do they think they belong to some occultic group? They have to put in their, like they are making money from the source. Every Ghanaian who is a stupid guy, Biano, that is their ritual. If you're stupid, they make money. You're stupid, they make money. Because that's what I think. Because as a media person, journalist, I think anything about Ghana should concern you. Let's listen.
So they went to the investigations and they found out that it was going to the vice president's office. The vice president's office now comes to admit and says, yes, the rice was given, but the vice president doesn't know anything about it. Listen to this. Listen to this. He doesn't know anything about it. We have gone to do Ramadan. We finished fasting. People have gone to pray. We've prayed. We're asking for forgiveness, including the vice president who says he's a Muslim. The vice president's office carries this man's rice, which they stole, and came to share it in Muslim communities and telling the Muslims that the vice president said we should come and give you rice. So the Christian who is in vice president...
Could it also be that somebody was doing so in his office, but not the vice president?
Okay, so the Christian...
Okay, guys, if you're here for the first time, if you're just joining us, you are listening to a media, 3 guys on stage. One is bringing up an issue that should concern Ghanaians, whether it is alleged or if it's a fact, whether it is a hearsay. When you hear, oh, I see some people at your door and they have a hammer, would you say it is an alleged or your house will concern you? The first thing you should do is, let me make sure it is not true. Let me make sure that my house is not broken into. Or you should say, whoever is talking about whatever, whoever is telling you is rather a lie. So which one is it? Let's say it happens to be true. What do you lose? You lose big time than if it happens not to be true. If it happens not to be true, in fact, you have just confirmed it, you yourself, it doesn't cost you anything. But if it happens to be true, it costs you a lot. So Ghanaians with probability, like, you know, when it comes to statistics and all those things, you know, we don't invest in brain work at all. So 2 journalists are sitting there and the guy is bringing up this issue that it's a concern. It is a huge, somebody who's on a ballot to be a president too. His office went and wrote a letter, whether it was his son, whether it was his secretary, or whether it was his maid. Someone made a ridicule in his name. Somebody broke the law in his name. Let's listen.
So the Christian that the product was sold to, the administrator, I'll get his name for you. The administrator that was...
Because
I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. Let me finish. When did this happen?
Look at journalists. They don't even know when it happened. This thing is on Joy FM, and a journalist doesn't know when it happened, as if Ghana is like Canada. You see, Ontario alone is bigger than Nigeria. Ghana is smaller than Nigeria. Ontario alone, Canada consists of 10 other provinces with other territories, the 2 territories that makes it 12 or so. So Canada alone is way bigger than a whole of Nigeria, Ghana, whatever put together. Ontario alone that I live at is bigger, larger than Nigeria. But guess what? The people in Ghana are even small. So for a journalist to say, when did it happen? It's as if they are not Ghanaians. Let's listen.
You're putting out the context of an issue that is
Let me
of the vice president. There is a report. Are you aware? I'm aware of the information he's putting out.
Okay, so you put the information out.
Yes, I don't know why Adele is doing this.
The name of the press. I wrote it down yesterday. I'm trying to get it for you. But if I can finish my presentation, when it comes, let me land.
So they are, first of all, they are not concerned about the story. They are concerned about who, why na wokano. Asam way, ote why, as if they are talking about their papa. You see, is it because these people never had an opportunity to grow up at home? It looks like Ghanaians. Anyway, let's go on.
So you take the rice, and then you share it to the people and you say, this rice is from the vice president, take it, Muslims. You go and take someone's thing. Give it to people who have just finished fasting. In fact, to an extent that some Muslim people decided at the time to return what was given to them.
Because they found out that it was from a wrong person, or they took
As to whether they have paid the person today or they have not paid the person today, we don't know. The question I'm asking is that the administrator we're talking about, even till today, what's the vice president's office? You think that if there was nothing wrong with it, he's working in your office sharing rice, which belonged to somebody, a rice that the demurrage had not yet cut it 2 days before demurrage. You have taken the rice forcefully. You are sharing it to people to eat it after Ramadan. And the person is still sitting in the office. And he said the vice president KMJ.
I'm surprised.
Let's listen to this idiot.
That Adele would want to raise issues like this on a national.
And guys, this is the face of the guy who is speaking. This is a grown-ass man, a Ghanaian for that matter. This is a grown man, not a child. I just wanted to show you the face. This is a grown-ass man speaking and had no concern about a fellow Ghanaian whose rice has been taken by the vice president's office. And this is how Ghana has ended up where we are. It's not because of what the politician did. It is because of idiots like these. Because of foolish men who does not know the power they possess to save the country or to save the minds of Ghanaians. Let's listen to what he says.
Substantiated proofs. Let's put it.
They just spoke about the word English, substantiated proof. Taking rice. Even the white man who devised a whole bunch of things to catch a thief knows there are cases you cannot prove, but they know you did it.
Put it in context. Okay. Tell us what happened. So there's a story on Ghana Web, okay? And the source is from GNA, which is the Ghana News Agency. It was published on Wednesday, 15th February 2023. It's titled, Vice President's Office Supports Investigation.
Just because the vice president supports, we all know Ghana, the power, the truth lies where the power is. The truth, meaning a lie becomes the truth. It lies where the power is.
To an authorized letter to clear 15 containers of rice. I don't know if Adele read that.
Adele should write that, read it, and Adele, as a Ghanaian, should not be concerned. Oh, Adele should throw away all the other things around the case and not be a citizen. Adele should not be a citizen. Adele should just be a mortal human, somebody who's just gonna die. You know, the way Ghanaians take their things. So Adele should not, as a journalist, look at this guy. No brain.
Because if we don't discuss the issues circumspectively, it would bring a lot more emotional attachment to it.
Emotional attachment to it. Circumspectively, then it's going to bring emotional. This has to do with emotions.
Let me just go to the response of the secretary to the vice president, because this is key. Now look.
His whole thing is that the secretary did not write the letter. Hey, Ghana for hey, paying for Jimmy. Politics as Jimmy paying for politics. A man paying for Jimmy or Ghana. I'm sorry. This is a grown-ass man. A Ghanaian, for that matter, who's not concerned about the things that is making the country poor.
A statement issued on Tuesday by the Secretary to the Vice President Augustine Blay in response to the matter said it was only the Secretary to the Vice President who is mandated to write letters on the office's behalf, and that Kek or say they do not have any such authority. Adele would bring the Vice President into a matter that is under investigation.
I rest my case. Ghanaians, some of the Ghanaians are fools. Papa, welcome to Fanhudi Hotspot Show. And I welcome you.
Thank you, my sister.
What do you think about this whole idiotic, like, I can't believe a Ghanaian will sit there and not be concerned just because it is the Vice President we're talking about.
Well, I would like to thank you, Sister May, for this beautiful morning that the Lord has made. Happy Thanksgiving to our American neighbors and Mimamo shedding in Ghana, because that is where the system is right now. I don't know if the word common sense doesn't exist in our country anymore, or because of politics, we've lost our way in life. People defend the undefendable until maybe their last breath. As a yeni etikrum hanumuna nyansa no hono, but Ghana no nyansa no opa. I'll start with what I call the system in Ghana. Asem we is, enya fufuro. But how they go about it, that's what makes it laughable. And the word idiotic you're using, which I don't want to go even higher than that, because this is a public platform. The system in place now, yeni egua bruchi bre, and our business be any business be no akofani omaba. How they value and put duties on systems are semese mato Corolla, semese mato inkonya, ewo model way, ewo Amazon. You can Google and even find the value, how much the item costs. You can Google with a chassis number and find out how much a Corolla 2011 costs in America and use the US dollar as a value. Don't trust me, say me $200. You can find out in Taiwan how much is a bag of rice or how much is this. Costco crowd me. Enti obi diniyoma bedru Ghana, and this demoralized 3-month nonsense, which I think the government should abolish it, because it's a big business for people in Ghana, especially those in government. This is job for the boys. And they will frustrate you until you cannot pay. There are so many cases since this government gave me to power. I will be Mercedes-Benz. What to be drew honomo with Tuya, also Tuya and say America. How do you pay a duty over an item or a commodity which is like 5 times what you paid for? No, be a target, no, Nadia would ready sometimes even 90 days. No, my auction, your man. And the law says, according to the same law, you have to get the first right of purchase. You should be the first person. They should offer it to you. See the amount. Say, you go buy something, get to Ghana, let's say $10,000. Near amount duty, maybe $12,000. Near South Ghana, mobile Ghana, $2,000.
So you think this was a plan?
This is the system. This is what is going on there.
Yeah,
I do shipments to Ghana. Media and to media, but I have friends that at almost so many occasions. 3 weeks ago, shipment yard, me call on my papa no. Was it a Nizam Versa? Odru Ghana na Hanotono, and again, obey to me the proof actually. But Ghanaians think say we are smart, so we can even make fake receipt. Yeah, JD. take the chassis number and go and find out the value. Google it. Go on and leave out 30,000 pieces a beton. And give me taxation based on that. Nizam Vesa not $1,000. Auction. Ghana almost will make your duty $5,000. Or the check. Okay, almost almost.
So in this case, isn't it the same way? So it looks as if, say, the government who comes in, if they are corrupt, then of course their counterpart, like the people who are connected, the people now set up a business that can say, oh, airport port to Hano, just like Canada, Japan opening up a cold store. Obi can ask and say mortuary. So if you're coming with a container full of frozen items, if he likes it, and not connected, no matter.
Yeah. Now, why should it be the case? And your man crab through gun and send you duty amount. Why should that be the case?
Exactly.
There should be a system in place. May the be way bad. May the window frames. Government doesn't want any importation or export of this goods into the bar. This is the list on Ghana Revenue Service. Just a GRE and as a Ghana Post and Harbor list in the group. Into work of diapers Ghana container and you can never say and you near the draw numbers article inspected no all the diaper banner container near full of diapers. This is the quantity, this is the quantity, this is based on volume. And you now pack out storm officer be actual who the engines in Ghana and capacity near 1.0 and now 1.5 and now 3.0. This is the duty. This is the duty. Goro boys, so-called middle people, no, and they went on demonstration against the Mahama government because me chassis number, you know the value of the chassis number. You I am trying to say blue book. Canadian Tire, blue books, because everything is online.
Yeah.
Insurance of honor, how do they find the value of your car? They go to the blue book based on the mileage and they will give you the equivalence.
Exactly.
So the program where a government system say, okay, me person me koto car we call Ghana. Apima na empima is a full value. Apima and inspection bebem na ometi value na nase bibisa. Government, this cannot be done.
Even if
the container na ban unim say a 40 feet of rice or Kofa or Taiwan. The quality of the rice shouldn't even change the duty. Excuse me, where the common sense to make a bag of 8 kilos, a bag of weight, how many in the room? Which you have the right to. Or the more bad
near as a feminist say there are many people said Emmanuel Ekano remittances from abroad is what sustains the Ghanaian economy, not IMF loan, because IMF loan almost but the remittances the niyama yedeko Ghana ninya maami bi uche no on onia owa huye mu wa no uche ne se mana ye we a no a package no de ko Ghana for bebre maami for bebre they can't get much into no niyama yedeko no bo wo de niyama ebeche anka niyama ye donation the anka say Ghana for impaying for abrochi for has now become enemy. We are the target, as somebody will also say we Tachi Turkson also says something and Emmanuel Yebua. And so I can be about that. The diasporan group has now become the target for Ghanaian government. But diasporans, so what do you think we have to do in terms of these things are government appointees and other cronies of government, whether NDC or MPP, it's not fair. What do you think, Abrochi, for Yenso Ye Jimmy Diomachi and because listening to this guy, should you think Abrochi for should have a say in most of the things? Ghana ni shepwa dia baha. Obidi benkuni bayere benyina Abrochi for na befa baha. Enye Ghana ni me maame onfa we mre me da. So okoshipu bibi abreme. Ajeme na meto na ye de abreme. And you can all say it. Obi ote Abrochi biano. upe kontomre, and I know na me accuse you, Mrs. Sister, say, de bia mo de receiving. Umfa kontomre ma papa say, sister dede, o kwa je kontomre, je adwene je we koma sister dede da. Mo de bia ya energy ya de kontomre breme. Me kan kontomre nti ya de kontomre ma name. So what you say? But everything in Ghana, it is abrochi for Nediko. Why do you think, say, we are being targeted, Ewa Abrochi, for these things by the government?
No, I think, sir, it's not a question about being targeted. There's a country like Togo, which they have duty-free or free ports. How do they sustain in Togo? I look at the global scale. They are not even number one gold or oil or anything. How do they sustain the country with free ports? How? So why is the government, I think, let's go back to Atamil's time where they're trying to do something with the taxation. Kennedy Japan himself was reading about 18 different taxes at the Ghana port. 18. 18 different taxes. Why? Now, Sikano Krano na eko abane jumemua with all these taxes, seko abane jumemua mo di enyo makrana, fine. But you have government institutions and board of directors and government workers living in plush apartments. Weren't this government that somebody used 2 billion or something to renovate 2 apartment buildings and turn it to 4 apartment buildings? And the man was it Ghana Maritimes or something like that? They questioned the man. He said, as the head of he deserved it or something like that. Sikano Mode, that is where it's going.
Yeah.
So let's not deviate. The system maybe. The system sucks. Excuse my English. The system sucks. Police and all these government agencies should be independent from any political aid.
Yeah.
Montreal Port, Toronto Port. Do they fire people there? The system is automatic. It's running by itself. So when you remove these political influences now, that is when we can chastise the government. We can chastise that agency.
Exactly.
But you can't chastise the agency. The government can't speak because somebody behind the scenes they will be funding the government in power. Let's not beat around the bush. So let's understand that the system now digitization your duty what happened? Even though we don't have a choice, even though the exchange rate in actually business and maybe you know what I'm talking about. Business with you. Actually business capital 100,000 in Ghana nowadays, it doesn't mean nothing here.
Exactly.
It's worth nothing. So it's the system no more of one monarch. Yet the bready and Yomako Ghana now will be alert or program computer in such a way or change a car way. Allowed to be an boss be pibiato into no train due to me raising such a way say to meet you.
Yeah.
It's a 90 and how does it make sense there? At the end of me move to media mammy first time buyer no. So move to me at TV so I never number whom mobile.
There's no humanity.
Maybe I'm the family nama connectia mobile on low value.
Yeah, there's no humanity.
Sometimes 90% off. So obi benya rebate almost you na say na abrochi for obi aba obeka so ntumi ntua nti no ahye da man nyoma na for demorage they do auction wa no abeto no fofofo so say mo pese ye na abeto no fofofo then you should sell it with the duty included to whoever you want to auction it to.
Yes, exactly.
Don't call it auction. And friend of auction, because the value and the cost you are going to give it to me, that should be the same value and cost. Whoever owns will get it. This is why it leads to this stupid letter now. If we a buying office buy now, people are not responsible. And the second one I want to talk about is responsibility.
Yeah.
Letter no if vice president, secretary
there's a lot
responsible so better letter.
Yeah.
Number one, that means if I not true letter, no, a from how I had a fraud.
A fraud.
And a Ghana, so no, still no a fraud. Because the word fraud, I don't know whether they have different explanation and different adjectives for it in different locations. Based on Google Map. In the Pakwana Bokrono, what fraud will be. Maybe a mono a different case. But on my program, like I told you, at the end of the system, no, Obia Bokina who say a new bags we have, ye be this sala, until you be here, the any baby. Until your target, I didn't raise the cost to normal say, Papa, no want to meet you. Now go be a copa 15 containers.
Yeah.
Want to meet you.
Exactly.
Only mother, until be a only mother. On your copa, a mama Ghana dano. Obet me a 15 containers.
Exactly.
The lesson I'm doing here, Juma.
Yeah.
So a business in the background, whoever it is, no, or tie, maybe a cover 5, a cover 6, a cover 10, and as they are what's shame. So they have an idea how much it will be their duty when they arrive in Ghana. So much that inflating numbers in such a way, say the man has to go and source. So source, no, 3 months no draw no more. According to the crown, 3 months no. And Oma call letter from above. Again, listen to this stupid word. The BIT will news in the moon. Order from above, letter from above, one from above. Above, who do what they are now. Any patrono irresponsible. I can say,
exactly.
Obibaba, a secret service and a police for letter from above. You are under arrest. Yeah, Monty on a radio station called letter from above. You bet you. CID, I bet you. Do they know the people are really CID?
What do you say?
A young person in his office who is not mandated to write a letter and now is under investigation at the office of the special prosecutor.
KMJ, first of all, let's do what,
So these guys are sitting at the radio station.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, they are not bothered at all about the case.
No, but it's a joke.
And the guy still works there. This is a crime. This is a crime against humanity.
It is a crime. Number one, what you have to say, the president office is active. And then the Pacono Neso Munim no, or yeah, Juma. And watch your letter. One dinner send you no letter.
Yeah.
Watch your letter. And you are in your man. No more monka so contain a be anywhere. Yes, not government letter. Muntro near who say fake story.
Yeah.
But what the matter say the patrono and you no letter. So that means that the person exists in the office. Watch your letter, no, but more confirm say no letter. It's mono abiding. You are not responsible for his doing. Okay, his doing has put somebody's 15 containers. Number one, apart from the stealing, the act of fraudulence is there.
And they have taken people's job. In fact,
exactly. So number one, okay, and we have seen it, this clearing agent government in power. One by on one go for your matching atumuda. Why? Give me one example. President Waka say, oh, okay, story about excuse yourself. We'll clear you after. And I say, okay, let's wait for the truth. White paper, the brand or team or two.
Exactly.
White paper and in the in the conclusion or no head of investigation on my paper we now I say this is what we recommend no or two special prosecutor is your way. So again, the system now responsibility and the journalist no crown to one crown. So a communicator for maybe a political party and I don't know a common power until the system is good for him. He will defend to the undefendable.
Exactly.
That is what they are paid for. Flagstaff House, how many workers are there? 7,007 and plus. Even no, they go on radio and talk and defend the undefendable. But the radio hosts now say the burden of proof. And what do you mean?
They have turned into court. They are the
since Ghana, that's the common music. Take me to court.
Yeah.
Do an phone calls now. The law doesn't work.
Yeah.
You gave a perfect analogy. When you started. I was what is the proof of it? Really?
Yeah.
Like I said, I I don't even understand it. Oju omo pressure no be these people.
I think
Oju omo pressure no be because they are obi na kan say omo akan kas no mo de timu no. Omo nu omo ho pa de omo aye okoro no mu. Omo nu omo ho pa, but they are not responsible. Naka papa we betimi abegina so san be running for president be.
Yeah.
Papa we ojina. Are you kidding me? They are politicized everything. BBR politicization. BBR. They will defend the undefendable. Now, radio hosts, journalists, not they're supposed to ask concrete questions. You know, as in the Pakona or Kasana or no submitting or no kind of CIA question. No,
I know.
Or no question to prove.
Exactly.
I said, why have a bono? Obi have a booming, my minimum. No, what's it? Say the Pakona boom. And I say, who video say, we are all pointing this on our bone, no point you.
Mamma, a perfect way wa hanomo. It is like say moti ekura na ebura efidi the whole ekura no nsuo no. Na mefa ne say bridge na ye mumu ekura sifo nyina mode kosa ebura no so no. Ahoho obi abesesa bridge no. Oma befa inua. In fact, ekwan a monam so ede kọ saa nsuo ebura no so no obi edija akoto ho ena wo tietie mu krom mra wa kromfo na ekọ no afa dia the same people na wo ni omo enum saa nsuo na esanka munyina mo bo saa ebura no ho ban no omo bisa wo se omo ama akromfo no ejina omo achi ena omo bisa wo se hwefo na hu omo ma ye improve. Oma protecting akromfo no.
That's what they do. Yeah, it's a perfect analogy.
Yeah. Oma protecting omo, and then they come back. We are all hungry, and then they will sit on the same radio station and then complain about how Mahama is coming with 24 hours economy. What do you think? Do you think, say, with Ghana for are too relaxed to think? Because I don't think, say, when it comes to an analysis, when Ghanaians are looking into a matter, it is so easy. They take the easy route out. They don't want to dig into the matter. Do you think, starting from the government institutions, this 24 hours, what do you think would do for Ghanaians or for businesses at large in Ghana? Looking at this from this stance of point, like Abruchi side.
Oh, thank you again. On this 24 hours, Mahama crying, Bibrenia Japan, and he shows on diaspora, on Nama Bruchini, Oba Pro Ninjan, Abia, we no be a kama atonasun. It's one of the policies maybe from some people outside, which I'll be happy. I'm happy with it. Ekromhana, Yawana, Debiano, Omokasa Ghana, they compare themselves to America, to UK, anyhow. Ekrowe, Eda. That's a chrono. Nyenipo, minkasi nipa now. A chrono eda.
And that.
Does the country sleep? Udu New Yorker. What is the slogan they use there?
Chai.
The city the city that never sleeps. It be the city of lights. It be the one. A chrono, a 24 hours running system. Now, say who says, you may be in somewhere in UK. Is it Amsterdam or where? I'm creating mayor for the night. Evening mayor or something in that terms, and they've seen that the economy has been boosted by 30 billion euros because Omo mayor, which is the regular mayor, yeah, Juma 95, which is a regular, and Omo for night mayor, and also running chrono in the evening.
Beautiful.
Yesterday, I had a regional minister somewhere in the north, or catch a symphony be said. Mahama yina oba no mutumi ni omo yire na. I can forward you the video if you think I'm lying.
That's
well, where are you? And I will general crowd room na. Yeah, boy, and some man say Mahama idea no day back 24-hour system no. Wako work for more brena wabeda. Mahama says so let's go down na jo. It's in Dabe now no yire beda.
Oh.
This is we're a minister.
Wow.
We're a minister of state.
Wow. Now, you see, to every Ghanaian, it's about marriage, it's about food, it's about consumption, consuming. They don't even do those things with their head. Edie, enam kotie etwe ensa
Hey,
aduane.
sir.
Iti mekura me the social media in the beginning, you know, the amount of names unya kotie huntini bi asabi, excuse my language, and ka untena ha medidi ekufo ado atem ena jama ukuru no. Hey, so to Ghanaian women and Ghanaian men, it's about ena. So our whole progress and growth is about ena aduane. So the thinking pattern, this place, people don't sleep. There are people, investigators who don't have wives. Elon Musk don't have a wife, and he's building the world. He's taking the world to places. Is God going to bless him because of say or God would say only yerintino benefit humanity? When can Ghanaians start to think? So that's what I'm asking. Do you think that 24 hours it's even for Ghana for the most? Do you think that it should be for Ghana? Because we need the brain to work.
If you have a presidential candidate who said he has solved himself or even confirmed that the previous government solved himself, he confirmed it himself on radio. But when he stands on the platform, he doesn't even say it. Mahama is bringing back Dumso. And this same vice president who cannot prove, say, me buy no me the 1 megawatt additional lights. I can't grade it. And people are saying it's the government will not solve Dumso. And this same vice president, no upper president, what general platform so I can't go for say or the electric cars bagan. You know.
Wow.
What the electric cars bagan. Emma Obia to petrol bium. Enti mamu worry about petrol now. Obita motor 14 cedis a gallon, not a liter. We are marginalized times 4. Now see oh, he's incompetent. Se see an motor a liter no about 4 times the price. No fan be general culture say what the electric cars bagan. Ah o couple we man answer with the solar na e eco charges are there. You see, that's how shameless these people are. So 24-hour system, no, number one, it goes beyond tourism.
That's right.
Ubedru baby about 5 o'clock. And Ghanaians and their time, number one, they don't come out. Let's call a spade a spade. They are not disciplined.
That's right.
Obi oba start Juma 8, you know. One on a bon 9 and over. A boy 11, I only run for AP or more lunch. Obeba 1 no, obeba be a 2. About 3 and you say upon 5. I'm talking about government agencies, passport office, ID offices, one police stations near you know. So imagine a system. Your ID card, Ghana card. Unim so 5. Ubedru on na second shift and take you over. No be 2 coins free tiabo easier. Or see one person be register at a polling station. You have to go to district office to register. Omo kanya went here. So be to Kwan Babedi line move for 5 hours. You say upon Munko Fee in Zambara. Ebe cost 50 Ghana cedis. Muntie where a basic common sense. Instead of going home or instead of going to find a hotel to sleep, you will still stand in the queue because there's another shift taking over. When you
do you think, say, when you go to the court, the Supreme Court in Ewaha downtown, they work till 2? When this is processing small way, they work till 2 and then the rest of it's online. Do you think, say, 24 hours will even enhance processing time? Because say government offices, in fact, they can me drive go US and the way apparently it's 24 hours. The payment department, 24 hours. So what you are just explaining, even if it was going to for just overnight, do you think that online processes can take place? People, call centers, they can open up government institution rather than people coming out. Yeah. 2 coins and at least we are savvy with computers. We can process. They can take on online and make it efficient that people can process their stuff online. So the night shifters, it's an office duty where they are processing applications. Do you think that
a Chrome Hanokrana, we think say we are about light years ahead of Ghana. Even digitization now, Bawumia Jimmy say, I'm doing everything digital now. Oh, you see, I know the cocoa seller, the chop bar is where you heard his speech last week.
Yeah.
The cocoa seller, because of my digitization, they are working 24 hours. When you are walking around town, Uko Usua, digitization, Emma Usu Club for movie 24 hours. They've been doing 24 hours since I was a kid.
Wow.
So
This guy.
The online system, it's okay. Which you need a phone to go online, by the way. Which you need a data to go online, by the way. Yes, center Bibia or major cities, you know, Accra, Kumasi, Bonusunyani, the big towns, you know. What about the common Abrewana or no the phonecrano.com? No news will be that.
Yes.
This is what they are talking about. So civil servants for no, they need to be disciplined. Also, how court office or now they work till 2 or but now 8 8.
Oh yeah.
8 o'clock 8 or coffee breaker. Others sort of 12, 15 minutes right back, and I said we'll be taking a shift so the system continues.
Yeah, and then they come back at 2 to way, and then the rest is online. Because there are people processing it online as well.
To me, fire who I almost Ghana, no more to approach system now. I had no system, no a year, Juma. Let's understand that.
Made it work. The people made it work.
A Chroma police station, me a situation, can't watch your statement. Okay.
And I know me free police, Papa, me free police for. I that's how Obeko. And that's on Besmo be at 2 a.m. one something. A police officer came. They are working around the clock. 3. In fact, there was an incident where a police officer had to live at my house for 24 hours. Can you believe it? Okay. Had to go and sleep in a hotel. 24 hours.
It's like you are begging them for their own work. What could do police station at okay, what extra statement the paper now will fill the form? No, you pay for the form.
And also, niho sergeant niho way niho.
Exactly.
Even hospital almost said 24 hours. And is it really 24 hours?
Oh, really?
Why did you go to a hospital where there's a doctor? The doctor is on the shift. Is at the hospital. In Ghana, no 24 hours in system. And it means the government are now going to take another initiative to ensure the presence of a doctor at the hospital 24 hours running shift. Not doctor be or ten girlfriend be fee. Now or painful bana fena ye ko friend doctor. No, they be a woman died because the doctor was not there. Only hospital necessary for no kobo ni puno. In fact, the necessary and no bomb pay puno papanada. But if you are working 24 hours, it is you are on duty. So
you are on duty. You are on call. You're on duty. Yes.
Exactly. You cannot go home. Investigators. In fact, there are people who work around the clock. There are people here because of that 24-hour scheme, and it boosts the economy. What do you think Ghanaians are worried about? Is it the laziness or is going to change the culture? Culture, I don't know, more per se be changing. And I said, do you think so?
Number one, it's a cultural change. It is a cultural change. And the youth for now, they are increasingly getting frustrated, you know. It will also increase employment.
That's right.
And na papa no the idea neighbor no on force say bank be a Ghana Commercial Bank open 24 hours because it's also a question about security, safety. Midnight, you know, we know what happens in Ghana. And again, it will decrease. Imagine people are working in town at night. And so imagine if the population
exactly.
Imagine if the country doesn't sleep and production is going on. What will happen? So it will increase employment, number one. You for now frustration near. Most of these things, it's job creation. That's why this man is saying it. But digitization, vice president is telling us, 24-hour coming is there already. Namako Parliament, Akoteki, after the night shift. Okay, less than a week or Papa no share white no president. Or presenting your parliament now, they be crab Bible. Or do one more no they were rename no. I no night shift. Or rename at the end say my friend on night economy. So they do like the idea, but a free will be all bad. They will disguise it and make it say enya the papa.
But do you think
it will increase?
Do you really think that Otaina Ghanaian nim nyansa to understand what is good for them, whether it's coming from Otanfo or Udofo, the thing is good for you. Sometimes the world changes. Do you think say ye nim fem Ghana for nim fem, because even the Bible says Abrafono has used all these odds, the odd numbers, to change the world. Because people don't really pay attention to the odd numbers. And they think that the odd numbers is the difficult one. But God is something. Or you see the foolishness out of this world to shame the wise. Do you think that it is a challenge for Ghana man to look to the odd things in life? Because Ghana ni edineni jina obi so se metan wonti no enia ma free ne ma papa ben free nipa no hoba no no ma dane na yehwe KJTia, for example, KJTia market. Look at this guy. Only when it rains, in Stioto and I say Jesse what I say John Mahama. But when the market women are there making money there, and you're too for saying you're too for
and Mahama no de
yeah. Do they understand the 24 hours to say it would rather bring market to banks? It will bring market to the seller, the cloth maker. No, it will bring the bank. They can not necessarily 24 hours doesn't mean say nipe jina home. 24 hours is say back office is working when the day people are gone. Back office is working because me free here. Me transfer me sika anasa me pobi and then nakasa at the bank me to Canada. I need to be able to call somebody a working call center. Working overnight because me fear Juma about 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock in Ghana is what? About 12 a.m. or whatever a.m. in Ghana, or my point Juma 8 o'clock. When it talks about money, Ghana phone take FM the spiritual things in the things we use. I have to say we don't really activate things. Yekuma dear rather. We don't give birth. We don't cultivate. We don't elevate things. It is becoming a bit difficult. But Bawumia should be shut down for even saying anything about this 24. If you have anything to say,
it should even disappear in the country.
Yeah, yeah, because this is a good thing. I'm looking at this from a different perspective. What, Jenny, if you have cells in your brain? 24 hours economy, meaning the government has a lot of work to do. They have to make sure light is on. They have to make sure that the system is working, security. They have to provide a premium. Because highway no so one
they are working because they are getting premiums.
They are getting premiums.
Of course.
Like all these things, Ghana grow by putting good things down. Papa, what is your last word for Ghana? For what do you think, say, as an average Ghanaian, you should pay attention to the words that these politicians are speaking about? If they are before you go and vote, what is your advice to Ghana? And Niama wo waku honda at least any benefit abro because me ko jina nsuom ne snow krampo air pete and I yako and now mama $4 more. In fact, meti me atene fie for the next couple months. Me yari omiti ya me ya obi kura stress. All of these things we fought for it. We went and demonstrated and we went on strike. I was part of it.
They are doing it.
And I'm proud of they are still downtown. And I'm very proud of getting out there and becoming the picketing. I was one of the pickets when I'm registered for so, and I'm so proud to be a Canadian doing that. What do you think you can tell a Ghanaian? Says say, anything.
Again, thank you for this discussion. You mentioned something about Ghana. No, I agree, and I say media. I see it as pure ignorance. Ghanaians are very smart people. Ghanaians are very smart. So Ghanaians are very smart. Obin to Ghana, no, say they don't know say the economy. No, a bank we have say economy. But just say through somebody is also eating something. And you know, one kokama, say. Vice President ya nomination and who said Ghana said be any Jimmy. Excuse my word. Or nominate Papa Wee. Now even Canada, Japan, o'clock challenge in the look at, you see, people have no shame. Trump airban those days. America, they are not even a holy. Trump banner guy be no entertainment tonight. I forgot his name. On the Trump interview be early 90s. And Omoka and Mahuasem. If you remember, I think Bibi Bush, Fenny Bush, Bibi Bush. Yeah, you know the MSNBC, guy. Yes. When they played that old tape, but Trump went through. Wow. Even though, because Trump has influences, the guy is just an employee. So Ghanaians are smart. But you full money, a community. People do what they will defend the undefendable. Yeah. Among so many platforms who teach at the independent for as I taught data, people have been hired with data just to frustrate you. And I was saying, yeah. We are not different from Ghana. We are not different from Ghana. I have no system. Who call speed na police chiwa?
And I'm be chimney.
Achiwa, next time what do you remember so? And yeah, baby, a police for no almost you are to Kurubi Munagan and signal in Juma until phone Juma. Your chiwa on negotiation table. Okay, Mabuku court. And I said, okay, boss, okay, now 4 million, 1 million, no, I tell now for a chrome how Bravo police. Why is it that we can't do it here, but Ghana we do it?
Yeah.
I didn't know be Ghana. Or yet not really a corrupt, but through Hano, and yes, no.
Yeah.
And yes, no. And Yamino on one.
The same.
I didn't know Hano dear. 24-hour system, no. Can't you boss who said Sunday, being Juma. May go actually.
That's right.
Why don't you tell your boss that and see how long you pay your rent? And this guy, Yamino, Nyamino, I don't. Sometimes I get confused. It's Ghana, not the people who play against this. We work as an original minister, or soon to me no that. Into a moment yet, a hard shift to no, afternoon shift to no, baby, don't they see themselves and they run shift, it be a midnight, it be a day, it be a week. Second weekend, every 2 weekends, be a Juma with premiums now. So a mindset. I dream of Ghana, a year Juma pa, or catch on my dream Juma, a year Juma pa. A guy, good evening, Ghana. Say why a guy, yes, Ziano, yes, you can't, not the idea of the Christmas tree or turn 80,000, no say, Ghana port and have Ghana airport.
Yeah.
Now, Ugusut, Ekasanya, could draw no big TV so. Christmas tree, matter $100.
Maybe.
Well, original one, and your plastic one, Piana Yakochano. Matter $100. I mean, see me 3 years be a messano. What could Christmas tree 80,000 Ghana cedis? Makubia, the great airport. Yacho. Who cry out to me now? Who broke a radio and TV so? As I'm still chastising people. Obi aye who 10 million or say 5 million one of them or no to me court echo challenge prosecutor and say who are you to question me?
Exactly.
Obano on when you 2 million because president that say eventually he knows come on. President didn't see for soon can you? Or see the power case, he knows eventually should be exonerated. That's the word he used.
Wow. And because the people allow it, because people are listening to him, and the people listening to him don't feel they are Ghanaians. Say the so papa say Ghana for me bununo platform bia omojiji sika ama Bawumia be the president. What should I want to say? It's as if say it's not enough. Ghanaian youth, it's not enough for Ghana for Omojiji Sika And many people, the platform back in 2016, 15, hono, this is how they did it. Ghana for muntie me ye. Omo enim say most Ghanaians are left without food and other things, especially university students, college students, or church. They target churches, schools, institutions, organizations. And what they will do, the pastor will select prayer warriors within the churches. And they will now bring them and refer them. For some reason, to me, you can tell
to me, who yes.
To me, Ghana for.
It's for relevance. It's for relevance.
Exactly. Ghanaian thing say it to me, and I say how they speak overrides the truth or reality. It's Ghana for like a association by clicks by I have to say I don't know. I don't think I yet know. So they will now sort these people and they will group them and they will get them to a certain places be almost feeling good because they are fatherless and no relevance in a society, and they want to also belong, and that is a nature of a man. It is a say no almost targeting my one Bawumia platform campaigning for money, and this if for a multi. And this if I'm paying for, I'll do another show. And meanwhile, could you nebeye? Maybe show at the show no. And this if for it is about time you should pay attention. As a mudi money. Jenny Jonas says Shefam. She ain't free so
reform.
Shefam.
1 minute to be a
pay attention to the people who are speaking. Because one thing I realize is say I have to say in the Shema protocols staffs, you are not doing enough. MPP are working. Trust me. Now, say you don't listen to the word that says Obonifo no unrest you. So MPP, they are not going to rest. In fact, they are paying young people who also want to be a puppet of some sort.
Relevance.
Yeah, they want to be, and I am a part of Nana Yoko, and I'm not much changing on Muchi Nimpo. No, they don't even speak the tree as a tree, as spoken people. And these are the reason why and be a platformer almost solicited for money. You see, the effect of the economy is evident in people's life right now. On the platform, people are asking questions and all those things. NDC 4 MPP won election because of these groups. People want to belong. NDC 4 paying for no more. They don't even want to talk. What do you think? What do you think about these small groups now? They started in Israel. Israel ko bomb against John Mahama. Nano we also bempa person of no didi intimuntie in commercial be or the obonifo the wa wanu musem e na bebua for John Mahama can asem say ne 2020 election no lusu ye na sunsun
yeah spiritual.
You see it was a spiritual yeah also bempa say if that's true that means it's also bempa want to tell you say you still need the sunsum. So end this if way because sunsum, you see, give what belongs to Kaiser and what belongs to Jesus to God to God. Inti also bempa say it is not MPP for me ye bribi. So man ye bribi it is the spiritual that will back them up to winning this game. That means that they are going to play the same scheme. NDC 4, Ghana 4. When I'm talking about NDC, I'm talking about Ghanaians. What are your pastors? Where are your prophets and your pastors? Mon shan come, Messume Baba shan come say. Messume shan come. Na men come shano. Me one year maybe as I say me answer my beshan come because I dear be a mehu. Me huni ye send you also bempa. Messume will counter maybe. So
Prophetess,
prophetess, yeah. NDC for one infant. Connect with the people abroad you, na nyamunkwa na mobetimi winning game, no. What do you think about this one? Because NPP are very good at networking. NDC, what do you think?
MPP for what they do good is exactly what you just said. They go by the base. So share NDC lose the election now. Report to be now. I forgot the man's name. No, the whole Ghana. He did his whole report about it came down to association.
Yeah.
Grassroots were ignored. People didn't feel that they belong.
That's right.
It's these sub-sectors now, sub-groups, sub-association now. And our kind of sorry, and groups and associations where anyway, Mami no ya aglo no what in Kembi. Afanyo dazi what in Kembi.
No.
Mahama time na almost share a stadium Eco every time. No, I'm more powerful. The verses linking with old Testament when the Israelites were in the desert or more bread. Nipa boni bedi krono so a onyankopon bu shew back one no aka mombra clad your clothes in there. Where is the woman now? Yeah. See, MPP people omo yate e was anyuma no.
Yes.
Omo de maame na to board obi so. See, I know the Ghana ebre na exchange rate drew 9.8 na ene na me no. Omo kwa de maame no on case.
On case.
That is what MPP does best. They tap into those things. Yeah. Young people, prayer warriors, more Joshua's, more Solomona, a common to Obi our SHS, Obi our teachers training college, Onya Dumanye. But because of relevance, also for a Pekeno, no, so for the number way, no number way. This is how Owusu Bempa and all these guys they remain relevant.
Yes.
You tap it. Mahama say he lost by spiritual, with his own words. You see, and also they are preaching.
Yeah.
They also have friends. Yeah. They also have friends who have friends.
That's right.
Now when also for to say you and religion is what is bringing the black mind. And before I drink, I saw no several do I tinya me some nasi o say deal. Just said the also for the Becano about 80% of the people, whether they even have doubt that's also for no but they will still take it. Omo nimse shop we dey wo kan die obuapa.
Yeah.
Mahama boja wan nsa no, Mahama oni nyina omo kan. How do you bring somebody to we have to put all these people accountable.
Yes.
So Holy Spirit na mouth say you children the any man in be defend the court.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I had one to me can way and me too Trudeau so and so Joe Biden so say Hong Kong say Joe Biden on highway 401 so bomb will be explode. O de Hong Kong na aka kire wo. Nti Joe Biden no pay wa mo mpa ye dia the Lord has said so. No I can wait atra. Now I for ho adi. Adentina ha ne ntumi nya sa na ye kuro mo nko na ntumi yesa.
Yeah.
So MPP for no we no mo yadi. Enti no mudi Mahama tem 600 workers our Flagstaff House. Omudi na tem so omodoso. Omoba no 1,008. Who is talking about that again?
Exactly. Because yeah.
They are 70 ministers. Oba 126.
126.
Obi anti also they are working. The people are working.
Creating capacity, I guess.
It's a job for the boys or for ministers, 120, or before deputy for no so be warm homes, or for workers, job for the boys. Now spreading no be any be
driver cry is a contractor.
Exactly. And you may be no be and the MPP for no omuya ho ade pa no. NDC for no so mo be bibia. Omo drain the judgment. Okay, Ghana for bebu ya football, or bebu ya fancy. It's a way plan one guy or MPP for no, they don't care.
Yeah. Because they study the people in Ghana.
Because Omo who say the Pania Jeno when you here.
Yeah.
Like I can Japan bet me be president.
Oh. Come
I
on.
made myself. Master, everybody, they all know him from New York. I made myself. You know, Obi Edim no. But with all in some what kind of Ghana, I do a sample fake a person on the parliament. Ghana put in way, excuse me. Imagine this happening on the NBC.
Hey. I said the
baby. Enke krono obetena ho. Say NDC MP wabetena US obi ehu no video so say watoka ono an say watoka $100,000 and he deliver brand ba wadi 16 or 17 live on video enye we enye Photoshop or video or the hard most psychological into their court na hono mo ye enyi na bi 2 weeks ago on the number Domiko Abenya market say opa mana chew and omo born away ebedu election time was it almost spot to baby omo kan away ni nyina ebedu omo kwa koso to omo nyina omo kwa koso to omo nyina oh say Ghana oba ni si una so aye ntwa say ni ebube no total 3 weeks 2 days ago otufo how many buses no dey call so okoye
enu ano no mo refi okowia
onipa ko na wo si wo obi ama no 200 Ghana na okonfo anot ya say na ye mfanye ni ye no.
That's right.
Waso VIP 30 buses asante for ma odekwa yi wetua. Hello. Where's your priority?
That's right. Priority is lost.
It's NPP for no Sunday man no platforms more than 50. It's true. They've gone to the basic personal. You have no hope in life.
That's right.
Hope.
But this is what, if you look at America, how did the system crack down on drug activities? They know said the pimps goes to the grassroots.
Of course.
Those with no hope. And they are the people who are looking for some father. So
of
the
course.
pimp will be their father. MPP nimsa. So what do you think NDC match that way now, but to turn their lives around rather? Because so the government actually cracked down on that and offered programs or areas to these same boys. And almost say you don't need, they actually on foot. Police on foot. Some of them, it is a project, Tavis Police Project or Jane and Finch Neighborhood Project or Montreal. How they crack down on the Italian Fono Omo drug activity now Montreal back in the 90s. Now they crack it down. Why? Because the young boys were turning into drug dealers and So the government gave the young boys a job. Rather, they gave them some level of programs via omuno ankasa ebe championing those programs. No young fathers ni deben homework clubs and all those. Not government are subsidizing those things, and young women, young boys are leading those things. These are all programs America they tackle that one. What do you think NDC? Because NDC do not look at their grassroots. I don't see them almost respect. I'll say that here. They have no respect, and these are the people in party. These are the people in party. These are the people, and I'll say it here. This is Ghana we are talking about, and I don't care about anybody else's emotional feelings. Be a common the nipa was emotions. A common the obi person boa wa brochi ha. Obi person ono so obema Ghana. Odi ni biribi na nimu die ni biribi. Why don't you guys use the same way, but do it in a positive way? Not Ghana for rather than say Moshe Mokona. Offer NDC for paying for. I'm telling you, they don't have groups. But MPP for you sue groups. Hopeless adoye mpo. Omo planteno. Emma Canada for hopeless adoye mpo. Any abwa papunu. Even Krampo, what was his name? Abronya mpono. Omo sheda de neko UK. Abronya. Omo sheda pa the young Bahama. Omo be young people. What is NDC doing? And do you think say this is a sign for leadership, or do you think say omo for say almost average like Ghana for and Tomu struggle. Because I don't see NDC for Manya Sikayo Chaba say MPP for no. Do you think they too has given up to say we Ghanaians in so much?
And sir, NDC problem we no and me I've been around for a while and like you are saying no MPP for no they see the vision ahead. Election where they lose and they will lose, but they have already planned. Also, they have a plan for the plan of a plan.
That's right.
Obi can we already so. Last time it's now I'm doing one. I'm saying yeah. And go forward. No more to cry say case we court near Luzua. You win here befa you lose befa.
Yes.
You fa ne hon so you lose you befa see afasi. She said they have a plan for a plan. But NDC people. Maybe because of how we came to existence, you know. Yeah. Route now, going to UGCC time, be trailing Nkrumah, how they got our slave masters to come and get rid of Nkrumah, coup d'etat here, history of Ghana now. These people, they say, they are duplicating exactly. It's a playbook there. I think that they have this playbook as a Jose Mourinho of former Chelsea, playbook now used to be. Yeah. They have this TikTok and this for we are always behind them.
Yeah. I just say financial sector.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They always planning ahead. Now, even back in the days, 10 regions. Now NDC to me we need 7 out of 10. Yes, they lose the election. 10 regions. NDC to me we need 7. No, we need 3. And so still we'll lose the election.
Yeah.
Why? Look at creation of new constitution, Look at the creation of new districts and our constituencies and Gomodeba. Ashanti region,
yeah.
Up to now, people of SAL in Volta region,
have a representative
for 4 years.
Yeah, and NDC is there.
And you have Speaker of Parliament there.
Yeah.
You have to say, no, Parliament, show boy, bina, camouflage. No.
Protocol.
It's not easy for you to get an NPP person on your side. But NDC people, it's easy for them to get us.
Thank you. That is so. It looks like
now because obiti kumase na wa bodamu MPP no because wa bodamu kese ono no there yebusa no na po ne kan yo t-shirt no efe iti yanya pe kura na yana micro napo who is potentially the candidate for vice president to Bawumia maminka wa Frema operate a chief of staff. Abrewana or Napo and Ken Friday almost but Napo is a number 1 running candidate. And a Pentecost former chairman. No crowd the Cabintela episode on them say what diffuses idea. Didn't you see Bawumia became a Christian for the past 9 months to a year? Church here, church there. That's what they were doing. Cabintela episode was one or more years.
Yeah, and Napo worried then just say
picture said Napo pictures be a baba but all worried because as a vice president you need your wife and hey I started to casino.
Yeah.
So that tells you say MPP for no they are not easily convinced.
That's right.
Say now party no omunya cry and Adebeko go there enko corner. Padi papa kokotokwa no mo busa sante beno near the ashem obi padi abefia ye ni hwemo hwan so no matter what aprokra na omo penesa
and Ghana ebeye jo
that is the mentality
but mama me say wasembi if that is the case they have the numbers why don't they demand more rather than sort of selling themselves cheap to these parties? Because Uncle be our influence and someone who is diehard, your area is superb.
It should be flamboyant.
Look at these areas. I almost vote to almost politicians. You go to those areas, in Kunya,
of course.
And go to Jen and Finch area. Omo Ghana for. and I go to areas, go downtown. Omono they spend on politics. They are ono eduakura beniba kwan no ho kura na obefre city house ho. Unso de say duane ba kwan no ho a you are going to cut it yourself. But omono they will call the city out. Why didn't they do it? Okay. NDC for what is it that you cannot sell to entice and also to keep the people? That is, what do you think NDC need to do to make sure, say, because you are obviously one NDC, do you feel the report that came out, do you feel, say, you are in contact with some of the leaders in Po for you to know, say, and I said, do you feel, say, your counterparts, Ghana for or follow NDC, do you think, say, the party actually focuses on them? And also, almost say, we are Ghana inti, yeba for it. The church.
I know wow, Bekasa, when in MPP whom so NDC. But they forgot, say, first of all, you are Ghanaian. So I can be CPP, I can be whatever. I can even be MPP, maybe I make a. But once you don't agree with these people, you are MPP. Before I go to NDC issue, no, Mahama, you see, our upbringing as Democratic Party, no, it's also our shortcomings. Probability, accountability.
Yeah.
So we feel like we always have to be accountable to the people. These people, their goal is to be patriotic. It's why you Santini or MPP ni eti emojano ewonumu Jimmy o asayo atitio Mahama call otumfuo ho no mo otumfuo tu no fo say Mahama oba chere ya Asante mai de chere omo de yenti obia otumfuo obo no nyuma Mahama ne nesa enya Mahama party one wako obi fie ne nipa kro obo no nyuma osa yese Mahama so ti Asante fo yenti obia ono obo nyuma no.
Hey,
Oko ni fie na oka say Rollins from the no akoko sachira koma enye nefe wa enye nefe omo de to because na ere Asantini oko otumfo ho na otumfo say oba bie ma bebu accountability actually Asante man say na maye Mahama stood on his feet and gave chronological project awaye wa Asante mem Nana show boy Edu Asante hine ni no. What did he do? Number one, or shine the glasses so. Nana show boy drew hono. Number one, we seen any. And no general tune for any. Or be training ministers. Obo we no amana slogan. 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 And no be any body to yi. One kase. My year a crime was Asante memoir 15 kilometers in Po. He will just introduce his people and where they are from and who their allegiance, Asante and one. The number one who went to me, near boy and some chairman on indefendable. We are with no so the president. And then near boy and some man on near Sre. But Mahama stood on his feet in front of the king or the chief. Maybe I don't know who difference. But he stood in front of him. And then gave chronological project away was Santimemu. Obviously, Kajetia market. And no one that call high ma we omo a tree omo to a class to say Mahama ebe 2 gold or Kajetia.
Oh,
a mao Asantipo mao ma before. Ah, baby a full pitani, baby a full blue. Omo yi omo any omo nufu. Ebe choloku or car class to say Mahama ebe say Santimai. So the patriotism of this party,
someone I say,
sister. The patriotism na idea chichiro madre no. Enti na poka chere will say, Asante for the one ya be kura na omu okay. T-shirt no, efe. So you for a kind of printed T-shirt. Now obviously MPP T-shirt, it's hard for them to vote for NDC. This is the people you are dealing with. They have more people in parliament. I don't know whether 47 or out of the one, They have more parliamentary seats. Now say Grand more. And a parliament for Uru Romana, Uncle Yi, James and every tractor, NDC for no, we feel like we are always accountable to these people. About where the bar are chilling among themselves, among the share monumental project about Kufuor time wabano Kufuor diena to Kufuor party no to me yeah for some point Kufuor be see KVIPs Kufuor be see KVIP oba die ni be ma die ni tiefi Bawumia ba ide no be tiefi there you go.
But do you blame them? Because if you need to learn in politics, you need to learn what the people want. Omo pe to me dia, mama to me. Why do we want to force something that
our upbringing our upbringing no NDC no our culture no the revolution na Rollins no di be wura mu na Rollins no or we pull yen Rollins discipline, let's say the party. Yes. Oh, Rollins discipline us. It's NDC munu ye nyimi utu me kan say me na me ye we no a democratic party. So we have to be accountable to ourselves and also accountable to the people.
Wow, it's not working.
Ekufuado, any on one party mu no call bank account mu ko yi sika free mu and odi e de ope. Omo chairman back then obeye no omo wie no what did they do? They sacked the man and ninu akura no match na to map to now papa no ko say so yeah who say dey. Ono na yeah call bank account no ko yi sika free party account mu no odi e. Who are you to challenge him?
Exactly.
Can you do that in NDC?
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
So my question is now, Ceciano, the majority of Ghanaians and also no, omuye MPP for no so that accountability no. Isn't it best as a politician to study what the people want and do what the people want until they themselves wakes up? Because look at fix the country. For example, the Mahama Niama boy Nyampiani, boy Kutia, boy Kukwada. All of a sudden, Mahama can't obey it way pepe boom and yomono astopo the way no a change. What do you think is the problem right now? Say, is it Mahama? The last question, is it Mahama and I say the party NDC? Because se say MPP for no more Mahama na mo de ne ba ye no Mahama no inti em say ye de Abdullahi anase Hamdia anase ye de a DB of that sort eba Ghanaians will always reject that the way they look at other people in Ghana as foreign. This is a can name. Do you think that NDC could have gotten a different, because Enra Papa B Enra na Jo Papa B and Menina Chinye no said John Dramani Mahama Nam. I went deeper and maybe son say in politics, you know. Who else do you think Anka John Dramani Mahama on replacing John Dramani Mahama Anka Obe Winnie? Right now, John Dramani Mahama washe niame biase. We also one cancer Kufuor fairly. Now, isn't the politics about doing something for the people? I mean, developing the country, and that's exactly what John Dramani Mahama did. Or say, oh, media na me penansamni we and na me say dumsono te asese until mo de dumso abeda na ohia sese ya okay. Oh, e man na and I'm say, oh, uncle, my papa penyin say. A man on unipa no cross shares are dina seno or no one can say or no boy on the or did he agro na Ghana for aso Canada Japan no shares are dear naseno. So which one? Emma me who say sa a Dean John Dramani Mahama and Kasana ye problem Ghana for. How do you think? What are some of the policies at least Ghanaians should bring to Ghana? I ever Ghana for a boom. Na in the future no in Zimeni yenko yi in Zimeni anko ba be ye Ghana ni ye emfiri akudwa no so because so ye in Zimeni na yenko yi opepeni anko ba be ye Ghana ye yenyi ni mfiri akudwa no so because so ye opepeni yenko yi nkran kura de o ma so da infantini so ba so o mo se aja ata or ye joka. So how do we now bring policies into this? Because social Canada, the most obiati kureisubi. Obiati kureisubi.
Mame, we know, we know. It comes to the tribal bigotry.
Yes.
We have in Ghana. The tribal bigotry, a sensitive issue, but why we cannot near target. It may be can watch your comment. But it is what it is. The tribal bigotry, no, a kroma Montreal, between shipping yard.
Obia Canada.
Because shipping yard, na me share will be on Mono catch say, now who drew who are Santi D or drew D. And then I would join in tough war party. And I won't tough war diagro. This is 2023.
Aburuchi.
And I'm catch say, Eja, why shall the man Columbia SMB with the Watama no Bepra? This is the tribal bigotry. And young for we are no more in Chroma friends mount. Look what they did to him. On your can and Chroma friends man, look what they did to him. So in the tribal bigotry, I who say some people in Ghana are supremacy over some people. Can I say on social media, ahinsem,
yeah,
and kwasi ahinsem ni education. Ahimfo na omo ye emma momo. Sa ahinsem ni education. Nanka wa wuti o man temu na obesori anopa. Ogini bianso or sub chiefs from Odikro who are responsible for sectors in areas making sure say yes communal labor ne sa nyoma we nyina akokọ so ohini bi osori oni ne nkofo proper man temu no eye woni emo no mu di na tem sisi ane ye de ohina oye more supreme than the other person eno na ma ekro no. How does that fix your rule?
Yeah.
How does that fix the hospital now? Mamina or that form now or no one now on your baby uno. One also sorry nana. Yeah. Mamina or no sorry was in the fridge, you know. You do light no man in your man you say no. One also sorry nana.
Yeah.
But Mamina who say nana you're too good will be pro since you woman. And so me who say car ya quota.
Yeah.
Titina penny die mantina penny mu untumi kan no krenchire penny mu no sa time no yetwamo.
Yeah.
No, sa time no again yetwamo. Titina ne ebeche wo ba se kosomu ahemfie no na nse hwa na obetumi abeche ne ba se for so me ba no kosomu ahemfie in 2023. Excuse me. The tribal bigotry enye Mahamadino ene ha wo mo. Eye Mahamad ceremony no ene ha wo mo se ceremony no. What to be a bayer dear, I can grant to me, which is kufuor. A ceremony within 4 years. Just a minute. No, let's be honest. 4 years. So their papa went to me the year. Secondary schools, hospitals, highways, flyovers, interchanges, circle one hospital. Come on. Maham oil and this no cry. Polyclinics to cry there one bosu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now what they want toilets now the achievement toilets. So enye Mahamadino enye Mahama no John Mahama no as a person no mo pay because you say we ceremony obeje nyonyam.
Wow.
Obi be ka kire wo say 100 years ago esremfo ne de nchene ne to omo ne de we ne to omo na omo ye yenkoa. And so what two for that na konwa no so aka say ono kura oti ono kura e bi esremfo mo de ni bi onumu because near the esremfo me man ni omo ma be wo asante ne kunkum me man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that tribal bigotry? Obi finkrania onye Ghana ni. Obi free eya onye Ghana ni. Unless we saturate our mind from that stupidity, no, combined with the religion, no, dear mammy, and yet a chrome had there be a mini penny movie. I may catch up upon say, well, for 1 year, that should be when you're young guy, be a baboasum.
Yeah.
Because 2023 won't be me, I don't cast them. Say stream for nipa and a stream for so you have this you over 30 years.
Yeah.
He still thinks like this. So how much of this do we have in Bantama?
A lot.
Do we have in Gofrom and Giso? Do we have in Kumasi or in Accra or in Sunyani?
Oh, talk about UK, Canada,
exactly.
US.
Almost to private Rochina, almost this mentality. No, it's almost there.
But I don't know gonna say because
and it will take a while for the young people no mabano. And I'm catch us MPP for no plan. Like okay, Mahama Tiso and a Mahama bad girl. What may be a restaurant $5 million within 3 years? And can Ghana for better now. I confirm I want to mean two within 10 years. I confirm a domestic bed. What is that? I went to I fly 3 kilometers there. Mostly I confirm to me to come Bapina. And how much you to Mahama Airbus, Madia to Ekufuado, your lawyer mapa. I then go buy a Mahama crying in court for to meet you be uncle.
Yeah.
What offer NDC ni our best special prosecutor. Or no declare who assess mother serpents. They say you are more corrupt than anybody. Now, what pass for the Diwachi and the much expensive suit from UK, $5,000 suit to near evening in Mahama Dubai, Mahama DKB, Nina Obaeno. Prove the people say, I'm the man of the law now. Me buy Mahama way, my business way, Ibrahim, my business way, Mahama and the man of my Nina. Who said, Nanano, you are the man of your way.
Yeah.
Mahama, watching Mahama Dipebiatu. Which president in Ghana, which in a bank account and on the baby or stable bank? What the amount of
that's right.
So, mommy, it's not a question about John Mahama, do you know? And yet the surprise is a ceremony because Lima by you are my thing. I want my Lima chance. Well, no crowd one lasted 1 year. I don't know how long he stayed in as president Lima. It's the new or better now, so no one check. So we are better now. We better now. So now, I get what even nobody could have done.
That's right.
And no, they can't understand. If you are being honest to yourself, as a king, what you declare say Kufuado you are down for now in the Chile or UK. Uba Ghana, no lawyer. So number one, that is your allegiance.
That's right.
And go to me Kasa. So you don't want people to make assumptions. Say Galamse Ekwasu Okromunyano, Unyag royalties for him. So you can't talk. My village, Mimi Krom, or Finini, Nami Kromuni, Ukrosun Shona, one side the Ashanti region, one side the central region, Memo or central regional side. Ukrosun Shona, Yepreho is basically meaning behind the river. Ukrosun Shona, Udru Honomua, Wood to Mr. Boss, you walk a Siema, was set at sitting in a.
And no name paying 40 kronum.
So Mahama Nama Ibrahim's license win and Koyet and Galamsi we are. Hey! And I will be the Abdullah and Wapa Kumasi and Wo to Galamsi say, hey!
Messay.
Hey, Prairie Bano, Tobinia, Isani Bellu, and Muhammad Abdullah, and I said, Bisa, Wo to Galamsi or what more. Hey! And come back and young in the Chiomecho Mutikradia, a bro munia also.
Okay, into for say Emra Ben Bagana for na Yafide, Yemfa Yen Casa de Mrevi. Emra Ben now for say NDC because Osha Ekrumuha Obibia oye omu system no discriminating against Danny Pebiano, ebe fight, obe comrebi, Emma Mrano, juma. At least when you are taken back, and I say, de Sani Amano ni any diwa, Osha even from Sukumu. Enkola o gay we ya enkola bi no mukunkum omo no mo de sa emranaba o she pink atade pink Ghana for we pink Sabrina laws all these we autisms munyina march to a pack they all marched on the street for proper way systems for them and ema ekromu the biggest budget it goes to autistic or disabled people. Osha enipa dasani asetena nso a ebi before na ehye emrakon ase ewa manone ebi before na yemfa yen se yen so yemfa nkyene mpo na ebeto yen ti wo de woni wonu am ko na mofo se oyonko ye de nkyene na eto na think again Oka including you plus now for say you didn't beton in no. Abrochi, yeba market, we a commodity. In fact, we are goods. You are not even classified as human being. Ebibini, na yemfa and say
yeah, we're good.
I say you goods. It's not obroni se wumpo a obroni de wo file ne taxes te said de wa boka no. We ayemra na wa abrochi. And before I be fighting. So see, in our own country, we are facing the same discrimination, biases, and all those stereotypical, marginalized, and all those things in Ghana. This is Ghana. Racism at maximum. But when you say the other people who are being discriminated against in as someone who is hurt is always a hurter. They want to hurt their own fellow people. The only way or your blow a person or to me or person in your nebuano or buani we are no I hopeless adoye. Uha igbeni wako di different tribe mu no wakoye boy amon. That means to say ye be yusuno abe wia ni nua no I before no. Ohwe kuroboni kura de ene omo de ye nto so. Ye de ye tata nkrofo to. Ye ni stronghold wo ba bia. And crime for so dear, we are friends of other people. That's all, friends of other people. So I say, you see, yen edibenya toya as I say no, and I say yen good no near the court. The only strong people in Ghana, almost the HSF, omaton yen bibia or Ghana Santifono, and come ye strong, almost etimi jinemu allegiance, almost pay allegiance to their tribe. No more pay allegiance and come for Ghana, say Ghana and Kebeye. What do you think, NDC? Who do you think? And Mrabena also say Ghana, not Ghana, ye Ghana. Instead of say ye kwama santiman, ye kwama igbeman, ye kwama dagoma, like all those foolishness. Listen, Oma betiti ye mu, Oma bekanya bomo already. That demarcation, it was for property gain and for way gain. Sesiano, how do we come back to the old time where Ghana, every pocket is a stronghold. Every pocket where Ghana is a stronghold. That's why Canada is great. Because every pocket is a stronghold. When you become weak, you become a slave. Nobody wants anybody to become their slave. You are becoming indebted on them. The government even don't want you to become to be dependent on them. So they equip you, they empower you, they amplify you, and they do all sorts of things. Suku unisika yama take it unisika kora yewo justice of peace ko jina na nim na su kire no ye de wo kan nyina ebe cho me medical 2000 ma yama metu $150 that parking ticket in kwano no. Yes, parking ticket. Ye bida ye nisika. Ye immigrant for. So what do you think Ghana we can bring to as a law? Ye be hold people accountable for what they say. TV station people who just get up na tani there. Now why you beni there? Me so be can be a me that I before there and can ye jeje runs and come nipa. Obia can be what Canada.
Ningina comes to how the system in this Omaya system. Institutions shouldn't be controlled by the government. Institutions shouldn't be controlled by the government. And again, the want to talk Canada, and call for over 200 years. These people have a system in place which is being replicated annually here. That is why we have the peace that we have here. People suffered. The resistance was huge back then. And they implement the law, and the law has been established. And the Gusu year Juma and that's why they were back then. And Kofobi so beton Kofobi were how Boka said Monamoya as for Monamoya inferior. Yeah, the Mohawks, the Kanawakis, the way. Omunina no more divisions no so never have. And Obitina on say, hey, and yeah, Juma, you be creating one system. And no creating one system. So native yes, you might have some tax benefit, you might have a few tax exemptions, but we are treated, we have the same equal aim. Why can't they do that? And this is one of the word accountability into Nomame. We are always going to be feeling that so I'll be feel like I will be accountable to the people. It's in our nature. And you'll be on no dream, say, crony and India. We are Esla with the arrogance. Ya bet ye mind, a crony idea. So this is their mentality.
Yeah.
How do you erase this from them? Almost their woman, their woman.
That's right.
So, for to me, a bus 30 buses, and they call baby. A week or 2 weeks before, or no other say, yeah, number one hospital in our region. I say, Timobia money 200 or say, I don't remember how much. Now, me fancy a hospital. No one know to me, but how much is the VIP? I cried to Kumasi, Nipa Baku, just say 120 was a 150 times 50 people times 30. Private cars and envoy crown count. Petrol near you, but call hotels or man that could have fine, let them return back. It starts with the institutions. This week, I mean, who said and cram for him or more press conference appealing to the government, say their lands which has been taken away, they are giving the government they are pleading to get their lands back.
Oh,
Oh. The current language is missing in Accra. And Krafoka Sana first made me go school or Accra primary school. Near and cry and your option as a language.
That's right.
You bet the hand limit and your option say we go French school and answer we go English school. They have criteria. Ya wuha na ya nguha. Ya nguha only choice. And ya wuha na only choice. Ya umami and now papa ba ku kuma. And I'll bet you choose school French or English, whichever choice you want. Ya umami ya nguna. We as only choice say obeko the abandon better say obeko unless you want to pay 20 times the price which is the private school.
Exactly. You have to learn.
Why can't we implement that?
Exactly.
And a free this, a free allowance this, and a free this, and a free one this. Am I now nursing school? Let me use just one institution. But I forget a good cry almost 30 how much we should sell commodity and the inequality or my system no more because they've all been politicized. Obi sorry, on one anymore be going to store. May the budget say, now may the agite. That is how the country is being run now.
Yeah.
Now, you can the Japan busa say a Duania or Ghana no so no other than the boy heading. The dollar exchange rate in Amosi and no amount and no boy heading. Now, body a or Ghana so. Kosiana, Apokona or two Kosi. Do we ya crank Kosia free China? Kosiana, no, now we talk Kosia crates 25 CDs or 12 CDs or they say. You see, I may buy within 6 months, they say 50 Ghana. Kosia crates. So it's system no, ma'am, a system no. So they should stop politicizing every branch of the government. Media, I mean, and Kamama region be running on.
Which is what the People's Manifesto is.
Meanwhile, and Kamama region be run your own region be a moto as a US or moto government governor so abane. Or moto you have your senator and then you have your governor, you have your MP. The region be a moto it's a region who need resources. I know that back in Kenya, more resources.
Yeah, I think that would work.
It's desert now. Say, whatever it is, then you also start. Say, solar system, na most generate electricity. Maybe I mean, where you turn electricity, my US because it's sure. It's maybe you deal with the resources you have.
Exactly.
Yeah, to me, not a swimming pool, they say Florida, you know, but almost no swamp, alligator, the fear now one and another, you know, because you can't have your egg and eat it, your cake and eat it.
That's right.
Maybe any one, you to generate electricity, and 5 times the price I any New Jersey, Boston, Massachusetts, near Plattsburgh, yeah. So, Minkwa and Ghana, no, they should have it a regional system or a state system like they have in America. We have the regional system.
Exactly.
Every province is individually run.
Exactly. Even with the township,
Enough government also no reduce to about constituency level.
Yeah.
Which is Ghana level, the district level. So one district be running because obi betito yemfa the say Kaswa on fan command greater Accra region.
Exactly.
Kaswa for the nam Kaswa plan so. It's omo no mo de stone no ebe ye omo ni omo mu hia wo Kaswa ho develop Kaswa ho. Yemfa command obi wo soro ho no no afoka e the V8 the convoy aba be say e kwan na ye omo fa kwan no so da bia no omo no di so omo di say sika na o ma tete wo ho no e di boss akwan no so.
Yeah.
It's surgery way ye jiminya.
Yeah, that is why when you go to Ottawa,
Timani Koko, our region beer, you put you on the power. Omo be see omo bridge say a vegeto, a dreamy of a beer, I bet you say.
Yeah.
Omodia, ya kwani. And you will be a greater crack and one confess that. Or also go to us attacks and I think people be happy.
I think, sir, it is about time lawyers in Ghana picks up their job back again.
Constitution, mommy, is too old.
Yeah, I think, sir, lawyers.
The constitution is too old.
No, only I think, sir, lawyers are not doing. They haven't done enough research. Even Kromo Hakura do town beer. You can bring Walmart today because a Kroma no wohono obi aje oye politically strong. On person listen. They fight for how our Omu county like look no.
Of course.
There's a small county biwa. Me so call why nine no see me poso. It is said the Bible muno. Me see me die, wa me poso.
Abotanso.
Mato me boom me sini. It's a picture. They want it that way. They are now,
isn't that how it's supposed to be, mommy?
Yes.
And you'll be the best say gated community will be at 10 o'clock.
No.
It's the whole greater Accra region will be at this time because or he may be a or we are no. Oh, I have no any area. It's because will be a septic tank. It will be fee.
Yeah.
Insurance will be a fee. Every month be a septic tank. No, every year will be a new once. This is municipal.
Yes.
It has nothing to do even with the province, city, no.
Yes, exactly.
Because you tax government,
you see, these are
Canada buying the you. And yet Quebec are buying the you. Let me use it this way. And yet Kufuado the Bayer Mika Panyo. And yet greater class for the Bayer Mika Panyo. And yet down so my poor. Let me use that example.
Yeah.
Down so my poor, any down so my na any agity yet to. If you be a tree, near the Ayaka Panya, what down so my.
Yeah.
And I down to my Kurano. Yasa Chichemu into sectors. Akuko photo, Osopo Dazi, one, Yachichemu, down so my last stop. Or much chichemu to area be also or dear. And you're more priority or more yet.
Yeah.
So then the federal know the almost say, oh, my party policy will say, I I'm gonna say, and as will be a consider, I feel we know what way to the amount of tax break. And we are federal level, which is the government.
Exactly.
But all the problem is now come abino. Because you police officer, commander no or you nedi or you to the or giant could give you a grass no cry near Bepamono. Say you ready exactly.
Because when we say
that is how the system is now. Yeah. We are catching up because Samima Juma municipal way. Now I'm more experienced. Now mobile mobile yimedi. No more kofa kwantri abubia or no because no yeah na winning. It's na winning and they have to pay him back. And they not better hanimo. Or no be taking back 1 year to learn the job or 2 years even more. Obesu you baby not abandoning free power. This is the system in Ghana.
Yeah. We're cutting ourselves short. Papa.
We cut ourselves short because of tribal bigotry, because of religion.
Yeah. I think we are going to do this more often. Papa Drew Mr. Mama time. Why not? You are so knowledgeable. He's a real estate guy in Montreal. He's also an engineer by profession, but he's also a French-spoken guy. He can do a lot, even for the newcomers who are here. Uwo Sikebi, Ghana for mama money method dan. Politicians are more Ghana money mama money because school. It is a waste of money. Your children are paying somebody's mortgage. Mumra na mumbehu kwajo odro. Na omamo edan China phone call ato condos yi nyina.
Omo to Tony nyina. India for ni China for not to nyina.
Go to Vaughan Mills. It's like a crofofro. Almost the hospital. So on near every area, Vaughan area, no, almost fighting for hospitals. They say like a crow. The Italians, has changed the whole neighborhood, Me say meko wakocha. The Chinese, the Indian children, no moko school, no. Any esikafoni bi omato. Ghana for mama yensu let's work for capital gain. Let's work towards development. Mumra meto, mamo merente. Se ukresika wa Ghana Sicilia we edapa o se de ben usika no. Nanka wo dia
Ofamra you bit me dia go na you. 10 million. Be adwuma.
So what you say na we odu onfato. So if you pay a fiato, na wo pay mu Mr. Siamitu, I am more than a real estate agent because of Udo. I mingle myself now with the big sharks. So what you say? On one kasa ne two fem esi ni dan. Enya Ghana for nyina ono etimi to asase me si dan wo so. Omo to dan nyina India ni atena mu ono so baby anase we Japanese ono akoto odi niama cheap bi esi dan na si wa ma ona ono ha no si ochusu ni counter ni floor ni bi se niama bi aye si wo fie ho no samata me ko ho me twa bra mu fulu mamu enuano ma mo hwa yen yeda mu nyina mo say thank you so much for
thank you
and now Sunday we are going to now rest for the new vibrant week, blessed week ahead of us. I wish you the same. Monko so share video no. You better ask na more of this show. Ghana needs to have their own regional power. Now, asamono esuncha even et said the oba na de bia wona wo sensuo ma no chira no said ye sensuo no na onye independent because my brain no free so. But we have some parents who want to baby and nurse because they said their own inability to find their own new spaces. I was a mommy phobia or why they don't want to let go of their children because they have not been able to grow their own place. They have not been able to establish something new yet. So they are not ready to let go. But when the president let go and teaches and structures Ghana as what our brother Ojo just explained now, Ghana wahu anka yeko yen region. Yen anka Ghana for tokwa abe nyina anka yen Ghana for epre abrochi for epre ni ha for koshi for ansama for Ghana for mopa Ghana akọ because abrochi first of all Ghana yenti na obaye but yet people are fighting in abrochi because they want to go to Ghana. Ghana ni bre ade dodo. Menuan munjai. Let's go. Your question okoni constituency let's start to learn how to do things from the grassroots. NDC for Munsia grassroots.
Appreciate the
grassroots and respect your soldiers. Respect your veterans. NDC for Nedi democracy by and Kasisemre we have a veteran day in Ghana. Can celebrate here and cinema. Moon respect our tetefono. Look at we have the men touch for look at NDC ye munipa na minshiramo me maka bye papa odu
thank you mommy all right stay blessed
thank you.